The Nintendo DS is one of my all-time favorite handhelds. Today, I'm going to be going through my childhood DS collection and talking about my favorite games. My name is James, and I started this channel simply because I love video games. If that sounds like you, please subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos just like this one. I was the perfect age when the Nintendo DS came out in, I believe, 2006. I would have been around 5th grade going into 6th grade, and I absolutely loved my Game Boy Advance. I couldn't find it while I was getting ready to shoot this video, but I had the very first Nintendo DS. It was big and clunky and only came in silver, and it had a lit screen, but the light really wasn't doing much for you. I played that thing to death. I took it everywhere with me. I took it to school with me. I would carry it with me to church and play it in the car to and from and on the way home. If we went out to eat, I would be playing it at the table, and my entire life revolved around the Nintendo DS. I wasn't able to find my original DS when I was getting ready for this video, but I did find my red new 3DS XL, and I say find as if I had to look for it. It's been on the shelf right here behind me for a while. And I've only ever owned 2 DSs, and this was the second one that I owned. Let's talk about actual video games. The way this is going to look, it's going to be very similar to my GameCube video that I did 2 weeks ago. Check out that one if you haven't. But I'm going to look at my loose games over here first, and then I'm going to go on to these games that I have cases for. Total, I've only actually got about 16 games that I'm going to be talking about, which isn't a ton, but it's better than nothing. The very first game, we've got WarioWare Touched. And I don't know what made me get a WarioWare game. It's actually possible that that game was gifted to me by a friend of mine, because I don't think I would have bought it, and I really don't remember much about it either. I do know that that game used the touch functionality a lot, and my original DS, the touch screen, got damaged. So I wasn't able to quite play all of those games the way that you were supposed to. I don't really have... There's a few over here that I don't really have fond memories of, so I'm going to get these out of the way first. Next up is Jam Sessions from Ubisoft. This is another one that it's like off-brand Guitar Hero. I don't know what made me get this game. I do think that I might have just been gifted this game from somebody that either knew it wasn't very good and it was theirs and they gave it to me, or somebody that knew about the Guitar Hero craze and they were trying to actually get me a good game. But I don't really have much to say about Jam Sessions. So this is a pretty good one. Super Monkey Ball Touch and Roll. It's kind of what you would expect from a Monkey Ball game on DS. I was a huge fan of Super Monkey Ball 2 on the GameCube, and so, might as well just also get the game from the same series on the DS. And you're actually going to see that pattern a lot of games in my library here. Super Monkey Ball 2 on the GameCube, my favorite part of that game was the different mini games that you could play, the race and target and bowling and all those. I don't remember those being included in Touch and Roll. It's possible that they were, and I just don't remember them. Yeah, I don't really have much to say there either. All right, this is the last bad one for a little bit. We've got The Incredibles: Rise of the Underminer, a sequel to the Incredibles movie tie-in game. Once again, that was a game that I really liked on GameCube, and for some reason I decided to get this sequel on DS. And if I remember correctly, this is completely different than the GameCube game. That The Incredibles on GameCube was a 3D action game. This on DS is a 2D side-scroller that was really not what I wanted it to be as a kid. I really didn't understand as a kid that like games on DS are not going to be as advanced as games on home consoles. I don't know why I didn't understand that, but I really didn't. And you are probably going to see me. I'm probably going to have you're probably going to see that a lot in these games that I'm talking about here. This is a good one. Super Mario 64 DS. I had New Super Mario Bros. DS. And my friend had this game, New Super Mario 60 or Super Mario Bros. No, Super Mario 64 DS, and for some reason we like traded, which I do think that Super Mario 64 DS as a main game is better than New Super Mario Bros. But I remember playing a lot of the like side mini games and stuff in New Super Mario Bros. And the side mini games in Super Mario 64 DS really just aren't as good, which was a little bit disappointing to me, but still glad to have that one here. And if I remember correctly, the DS version of Super Mario 64 is pretty different than the original game on N64. For starters, you get to play as characters that aren't Mario. So that was pretty cool. I'm going to stop holding him up to the camera because I don't really think that's working very well. Up next, we've got The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. I loved this game as a kid when it came out, I think in like 2000, I don't know, 2007, 2008. And this, combined with another game on this list, are actually some of the first games that I remember enjoying playing competitively online. The online mode, Phantom Hourglass, one player would play as Link and be trying to capture like force gems and get them to a certain area, and then another character would play as Phantom Ganon, and I remember having a lot of fun with it. Up next, we've got The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. And this one, I didn't actually buy this game until I was in college. And because of that, I've never played it. I've played a good chunk of it, but I've never actually finished it. I would still like to go back and finish it at some point, but I know that I'll have to start over, and I know that it's not a particularly short game either. I've got lots of other games that I want to play. All right, and then up next, we've got The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, which is a 3DS game, whereas all the other games I've talked about so far have just been straight up DS. People absolutely loved this game when it came out, and I actually didn't play it when it came out. I've still actually not played the whole thing. I've only played I've played probably about half of the game 2 or 3 times, but it's another one that I would like to go back and kind of see it through to completion. Next, we've got Star Fox Command. I said I was done with this, but I'm going to hold it up. There we go. This one is odd in that I somehow ended up with 2 copies of it. Anyway, Star Fox Command was actually the very first Star Fox game that I played, and this is another one that I actually played online quite a bit, and I actually think I got pretty good at it, but I guess there's no real way of knowing. Next up, we've got The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. This game's not very good. I loved the movie. I watched the movie a lot. I never watched any of the sequels. I never read any of the books. This is another example of me buying video games for DS and having no idea what the DS is actually capable of. All right, anyway, up next, we've got Brain Boost Beta Wave. This one, I got this one as for like a Christmas gift or something one year. I had played a game called Big Brain Academy. I don't know how that led to me ending up with this game. I think I might have gotten this game thinking it was like made by the same people or made by the same or like part of the same series or something. I know that total, I probably played this game for about an hour, and I did not enjoy it because it's really just not what I was looking for. Up next, we've got Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. And this is one actually that I have it both on DS and on Game Boy Advance. I don't know why I have it on both. I absolutely loved Lego Star Wars on Game Boy Advance. And so, yeah, might as well get Lego Star Wars 2, right? And you have the added benefit of me not being disappointed because I played the first game on DS as well. Up next, we've got Spider-Man 2. Another movie tie-in game that I got on DS instead of on a home console for some reason. This one, I know I played the Raimi Spider-Man 1 on either like PS2 or GameCube or something. I don't think that influenced my decision to get this game. I actually don't even think I asked for this game. I want to say that I got this game as a gift. I want to say I got it as like a birthday gift or something from like an aunt or uncle or somebody who was just like, oh yeah, Spider-Man, here you go. But similar to The Incredibles, the console version of this game and the previous game is a third-person action game, and this game is another 2D side-scroller. Up next is actually my all-time favorite DS game. And this is going to sound weird. This is going to sound like I'm being sarcastic or something. It is the age... It is Age of Empires, The Age of Kings, based on the best-selling PC game. Once again, okay, for starters, I bought this from a catalog that they handed me at lunch one day at school, which I was surprised to see that there were games in there, but I ordered it from a catalog. Also, once again, we have an example of me buying games for DS and having no idea what the DS is actually capable of. I don't know what was going through my head in 6th grade, but I fully expected this to be a real-time strategy game, exactly like it is on PC. What this game actually is awesome. It is a tactical, turn-based RPG where you get to play as the different as characters from the different dynasties. The mission structure would be similar to the campaign of the PC game, but the actual gameplay is tactical turn-based. I know that sounds weird. I know that sounds like it would never work, but it really does. It's really cool. I played the crap out of this game. Up next is Pokemon Omega Ruby. I don't really have a lot to say about this one. Pokemon's big enough at this point that it's if you're into Pokemon or not. The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes. This game sucks. It's designed around being a multiplayer game. I didn't have any friends to play with. And it does give you the option to switch between the different links and play it that way, but it's really not fun. It's really just not fun to play it that way. Even with friends, I don't know that this game would be that fun, but this is clearly the evolution of what Four Swords started as on the Game Boy Advance. And then the final game, the newest game that I have, the newest 3DS game that I have, actually. I got this one for Christmas. It was on my list. I got this game for Christmas, and I'm going to play it sometime this year. It's still in the shrink wrap. Metroid Samus Returns. I've never played Samus Returns, obviously, or Return of Samus. It's the only game in the Metroid series that I haven't played, and I've heard from my buddy Kevin over at a 2-player co-op. Go check out his channel. I've heard that this is the best way to play this game, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. Guys, before we go, in the comment section, please let me know what your favorite DS games are, and let me know if there's any DS games that you think I should check out. As always, the best way to keep up with me is on Instagram and on Twitter at James_Solar. Thanks, guys.